Some people believe getting the COVID-19 vaccine is not necessary. One of these people is Ted Kuntz, the president of Vaccine Choice Canada, an organization that, according to their website, is, I quote, opposed to mandatory vaccination and upholds the right of individuals to exercise informed consent when considering an invasive medical procedure such as vaccination. Ted, thanks for joining us today. What are some of your concerns about the COVID-19 vaccine and your organization's concerns about the vaccine?
Well, first of all, thank you, Maggie, for inviting me. Yes, our organization is really geared around ensuring our right to informed consent, particularly around vaccinations in Canada. When I look at the situation with the COVID, I think we're premature in thinking that we need a vaccine for this. The numbers don't indicate the urgency to fast forward at warp speed, bypass normal prudent safety protocols, and basically engage in human experimentation. They're including technology that has never been used before, introducing RNA technology as part of the vaccine that has the potential to alter our genetic makeup. It's been referred to as basically a software change. And I think we need to be very cautious about introducing something as this that has potential ramifications far beyond what we can imagine. When there isn't the urgency, there isn't the need to do it at this time. For the greatest percentage of the population, COVID is not a deadly condition. We know that only 3% of those that have purportedly died from COVID were under the age of 60. So to introduce a vaccine into that population when the risk is extremely low, to me, is unwarranted.
Do you not think that the fact that we've lost millions of people worldwide is enough to warrant a vaccine, a worldwide vaccine?
No, when you actually look at the numbers, let's stick with Canada, because I think that's where it makes the most sense to look. Is we know that in the first wave, 82% of COVID deaths occurred in extended care facilities. It occurred in seniors over the age of 80 that had 2.6 or more comorbidities. And so we're looking at a very vulnerable population that was at risk of the common cold, at risk of influenza. And so the majority of the population is not at risk. As I said, to subject them to technology that has never been used before, and we don't know the ramifications, to me is unwarranted. I would suggest it's even irresponsible, immoral, and I think we need to put a halt to fast forwarding something that doesn't need to be fast forwarded.
All right, we only have seconds left, Ted, but I do want to hear your thoughts on masks, because your group is also anti-masks. What are your thoughts on masks being able to at least help us in preventing the spread of COVID?
Well, first of all, our group is not anti-mask. Our group is, we would take the same position with masking as we do with vaccines, that it is around informed consent. We think it's important for people to be aware of both what the research has to say and the potential risks of masking. And so the science is really clear. There are no randomized control trials with verified outcomes that prove a benefit to masking. It's very clear. And we also know that the use of masking, particularly cloth masking, increases the risk of respiratory infections by a factor of 3. And so when you don that mask and when the evidence suggests that it's not going to protect you from a virus, and it increases your risk of respiratory infections, we think people need to know that as part of their decision-making around masking.
Ted, president of the Vaccine Choice Canada organization, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for letting me have my words.